Hi everyone, my name is Ruth. I also go by Ruthie. I am in the Worcester County, Massachusetts growing zone 6A, 6B. I have been procrastinating starting this channel for years, but I was out walking along our property and decided to share the project my husband and I started earlier this spring. We've come a long way with this project, as this front yard hill was all weeds and woody, very sore to the eyes. My husband started by pulling out all the weeds to the best of his ability, then laying down the fabric weed barrier. I didn't want to spray any chemicals on our land to get rid of the weeds, so this was the compromise. I then had to do the hunting for the plants, and let me tell you, those flowers and plants are very expensive, especially for the size that we had to work with of the front yard hill property. But my primary focus was the perennial plants, and then I could choose a couple of annual plants to fill in the bare spots with color. So I did, do some winter sowing, but it wasn't enough, as it was my first year. I also purchased some plants through Facebook Marketplace, and my focus was some sun and drought tolerant plants. So the only thing I planted on this hill was originally 4 catnip bushes that didn't look so good last year when I purchased them, but it was a trust the process moment for me, and thank goodness they have grown beautifully. Many of our plants were purchased at Lowe's, Home Depot, Costco's, garden centers, a Facebook Marketplace, and then I went to sowed a couple. Hopefully this year we'll be more prepared, as I do have a couple of plants starting from seed, some perennial plants like Rudbeckia, some Echinacea, any other plants that would take longer, some lupine, delphiniums, anything that would take longer to establish. I did try to start some this year in some containers, and hopefully we'll have enough to outplant and fill in the bare spots and have a nice flow of things for next year. I'm really excited. This has been a long time coming, and I can't wait to see how it looks next year. You will see here we have 2 double knockout orange glow roses. I love this so much that I went and bought a second one. We also have some lavender plants, some October Daphne sedums, some hen and chick succulents. One is actually flowering. I have a couple other sedum plants below there. This was the first orange glow rose that I had purchased. They had already had 1 flush of blooms. This is the second flush of blooms, and it's all budded up, so I'm excited for that. We have some Liatris, which is also called Blazing Star back there. I'm waiting for them. I actually got those from Costco. My lavender plants. We have some gladiolus. I did start them a little early. I did buy the corms at Costco, but still haven't seen any flowers yet, so we're still waiting for those, being patient for those. You can see my catmint and some of my pincushion plants back there. I started a lot of my plants with the purple theme and wanted to add other colors in between them, but I have to be honest, a lot of the plants that were out in the big box stores or anywhere during the springtime were all pretty much purple in color, and then they started to put in other plant colors. There's our little bees on the catmint. They love that plant. I mean, they completely cover up that plant, the bumblebees. It's so beautiful to watch them go in and out. And I love these. There were so many different kinds of those succulents that I purchased a couple of different kinds and mixed it in there. I did purchase 2 lamb's ear. It is now 4 times the size that it was when I first purchased it. That is the Helen Von Steen lamb's ear. It's actually flowering right now. I didn't know they flowered when I purchased them, so hopefully by next year I can separate them and we can spread them around the hill. And we have some Double Sahara Raspberry Ripple zinnias. I saw Steph from Hooked and Rooted raving about these and found them in my garden center and picked up a couple. They are stunning, and I'm definitely saving these seeds. They are absolutely gorgeous. You will see me shaking the plant just to show you that if you did want to cut them and put them in a little vase, this is where you would want to cut them when they're really sturdy. So the stem is really sturdy, they're not flopping around. But those are just so beautiful, they're so vibrant. The first bloom was actually this color here. It was like that white, mostly white with some pink. So I guess there must be different, each seed has like a different variation, but I love both of them so much. They're so vibrant, they're so pretty. My pin cushions, they are gorgeous. They are very bright. They look like a highlighter in the front yard, and I love that. We have a couple other crop covers, like soil covers, sedums type of plants. I have a Dusty Miller. I thought it was going to get bigger, but it did not. A lot of these plants I purchased early in the spring from different garden centers, and I thought they would get bigger, but they didn't. I don't remember the name of this plant, but it was beautiful when I first saw it. I have yet to see it open up. I think they told me that it opens up during the day and that in the evening it closes. I'm not quite sure. Or if it gets too hot, it closes up. But yeah, this is a Autumn Joy, Sedum Autumn Joy, I believe. I do have two sedum plants, but I can't remember the name. But one blooms more reddish and one blooms more pinkish. And there you see my zinnias, my double Zahara raspberry ripple zinnias. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. This yellow plant, I believe it's a Coreopsis solana golden spear or something like that. It's really bright and pretty. My snapdragons, I have fallen in love with snapdragons. I have a couple of immortale irises there also, my pink snapdragons. I have some like dark burgundy snapdragons, and they just looked like velvet, and I love that. You see my catmint just flopped over. It rained so much this past week. More of that ripple, and that's another zinnia, that bright orangey one. This is a sedum, but that bright orangey zinnia didn't really leave the floor. I thought it was supposed to get taller, but it did not. I have a lot of different colored salvias. So there were some purples, some pinks, some like a baby pink color, white, and there's like this blue, like light blue color. It looks white in some lights, but when it's next to the white one, it looks baby blue, sky blue. It's gorgeous. It's like an icy blue. This, I believe, is my snapdragons and my blazing star right in front of it. That one, I think all the blooms came off. I think that was one of my burgundy colored ones. But I fell in love with snapdragons also this year. It was actually my first year getting to know snapdragons, and I fell in love with them. They are gorgeous. They are beautiful. Here's that purple salvia I was talking about. And then I have this, I believe that's an echinacea plant that I saw at a garden center. Let's see. Yes, this is a double coated butter pecan echinacea. And it was actually really expensive. It was like $20 for that little plant. But I really wanted it. I didn't want to regret not getting it because I had so many purple plants I wanted some more color that would balance it out. This is another echinacea that I bought for $20. It was really, like, these plants are so expensive. This one was the Supreme Cantaloupe Coneflower Echinacea, and I just can't wait to see that one. It looks so pretty in the picture, and it's finally starting to bud up and bloom. Look at my pink snapdragon. She is gorgeous. There's my shots of daisy. I got that one, I believe, from Lowe's. And that one was, I mean, the size is $20. It was $20 for that big one, so I didn't mind. I have some zinnias that are budding up and ready to bloom soon. Anybody want to take a guess what color this would be? Put it down below. Write it down for me to see. To have another one. Do we have any guess what color that zinnia is going to be? I can't wait for it to bloom. I am looking forward to seeing all the colors, the brightness. I love this plant. I love this plant. It just keeps pushing out blooms. And the more I deadhead and clean it up, the more blooms it pushes out. And this one was actually one of my last to bloom, like the first flush. The ones towards the mailbox were like my first planted ones. And then I went back and got some more as I went along the hill. These are my gladiolas, and I cannot wait to see how big they get and how beautiful they get. This is Flower, my cat. Whenever you see me, you see her. She is a mama's girl, and she is my little, call her my garden manager. And this is our little garden. My husband is growing. This year was actually really exciting for us. We started all our tomatoes from seed indoors. We started them back in like March, mid-March or something like that. I was so determined this year to start tomatoes from seed. That was my mission this year, to start the tomatoes from seed. And I am so excited that all our tomatoes did amazing, that we had an abundance of tomatoes. I had sown a bunch of extra ones just in case. We have an abundance of oregano and sage in this garden bed. This lavender's been here for about 3 years. Thank you for joining me on my first video and taking this walk and seeing our progress. I would really appreciate it if you stayed to see just how much more we do for the rest of the season and for upcoming seasons. Thanks for joining me. God bless.